Ever heard of a house so over the top, it practically has its own gravitational pull?
Sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, buckle up, because today's deep dive takes us to the heartland of America, to a place called Chateau Pensmore.
Chateau Pensmore. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's not your typical Midwestern farmhouse, that's for sure. Picture this: 72,000 square feet of pure architectural audacity tucked away in the Ozark Hills of Missouri.
72,000. That's what, bigger than the White House? In the Ozarks? You're already piquing my curiosity.
Oh, it gets better. This place is built to withstand practically anything Mother Nature can throw at it. Tornadoes, earthquakes, you name it. We're talking fortress-level strength, but with a chateau twist.
Okay, a doomsday bunker disguised as a luxury estate. I'm officially hooked. What's the story behind it? Who built this place?
That would be one, Mr. Stephen T. Huff. And let me tell you, the man's background is as intriguing as the house itself. Former CIA, software entrepreneur.
Hold on, CIA, now you're really grabbing my attention. There's more to this Chateau Pensmore than meets the eye, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And lucky for us, we've got blueprints, articles, even satellite imagery. We're going full-on architectural detective today, ready to dive in.
Lead the way.
All right, so first things first, let's talk about the building itself. Chateau Pensmore isn't just big, it's built to last, like really last. Think insulated concrete form construction.
Insulated concrete form, so not your typical brick and mortar.
Not even close. Imagine building a house out of super strong insulated concrete sandwiches. That's essentially what ICF is.
It's like they took the concept of a bomb shelter and said, let's make it luxurious.
Exactly. And speaking of going above and beyond, did I mention Huff got into a legal battle with the cement company during construction?
Oh, really? What happened?
He sued them, claiming they didn't use the right kind of steel fibers in the concrete mix.
Wow. Talk about attention to detail.
Right. Sued them for a whopping $63 million.
Clearly, Mr. Huff doesn't mess around when it comes to his concrete. That's quite a statement. This wasn't just about building a house, it was about building something exceptional.
Exactly. And that lawsuit, it dragged on for years, caused all sorts of delays. And you know what? It just fueled the mystery surrounding Chateau Pensmore even more. People wanted to know, what's so special about this place that the owner is willing to go to these lengths?
A fortress-like mansion in the middle of nowhere, built by a former CIA agent who sues over concrete. I can see why people were fascinated.
It's like a real-life mystery novel,
Yeah.
just waiting to be unraveled. So we've talked about the outside, this impenetrable fortress. But what about the inside? What's it like to actually live in a place like Chateau Pensmore?
Well, imagine this. You step through these massive, imposing doors,
Yeah.
and you're greeted by a crystal chandelier.
Okay, a bit of juxtaposition, not what I was expecting.
Right. It's like they said, we're prepping for the apocalypse, but we're doing it with style.
I like it. So we got chandeliers, what else?
The foyer alone is probably bigger than my entire apartment,
Huh.
and it opens up into this massive living room, complete with the stone fireplace that looks like it could roast an ox.
You're kidding, it sounds enormous.
Oh, it is. Designed for entertaining, clearly, or maybe housing a small village, if the need arises.
Speaking of which, we saw some pictures of the kitchen, and wow, industrial-grade appliances, enough counter space to cater a wedding.
They weren't messing around, were they? It's all about self-sufficiency. Like, sure, the world might be ending, but we'll have fresh-baked bread.
And let's not forget the master suite.
Yeah.
Panoramic views, a spa-like bathroom.
They even have a library, like a whole room dedicated to books with one of those rolling ladders, you know, the kind you see in old movies?
No way. How many books are we talking?
Thousands, apparently. Plus a gym, a home theater, even an indoor pool.
Okay, so maybe Apocalypse Bunker isn't the right vibe after all. It's more like a luxury resort designed to weather any storm.
Exactly. But let's not forget, beneath all this luxury, there's still that underlying element of preparedness, the bunker.
Ugh, yes, the bunker. The elephant in the room, or should I say under the house? Have we been able to dig up any details about what's down there?
Details are surprisingly scarce. It's like they went to all this trouble to build this incredible fortress, and then they were like, oh, and by the way, there's a whole other secret level underground, but we're not telling you anything about it.
Talk about adding to the mystery. It's like a real-life Scooby-Doo episode, only instead of a creepy old amusement park, it's a high-tech mansion in the Ozarks. So we've got luxury, we've got mystery, we've got a healthy dose of paranoia. What's next on our Chateau Pensmore adventure? So we've toured the fortress, explored the amenities, but there's still one big question looming over Chateau Pensmore. Why? Why build all of this in the first place?
Right. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think the answer is probably more complex than we might initially think.
More complex than just a fear of the apocalypse.
Oh, definitely. I mean, yes, the bunker suggests a certain level of preparedness, maybe even a touch of doomsday prepping. But then you look at the rest of it, the sustainable features, the luxury, the sheer scale of the project. It suggests something more, wouldn't you say?
It's like he was preparing for something, but also wanting to live in a way that was responsible, maybe even ahead of its time.
Exactly. Remember how we talked about Huff's background? Former CIA, software entrepreneur. This is someone who understands risk, who knows how to plan for the long game.
And maybe someone who doesn't play by the usual rules.
Maybe. Or maybe he's writing a whole new rule book. Think about it. Chateau Pensmore sparks all these conversations, right? About sustainable living, about disaster preparedness, even about what it means to have a home. It's like he accidentally started a cultural debate by building his dream house.
And we can't forget about the elephant, or should we say, the bunker, in the room. This air of secrecy surrounding Chateau Pensmore, it's almost like a marketing tactic, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's like he knew that the less he said, the more people would want to know. And let's be honest, it worked.
Chateau Pensmore, the ultimate conversation starter. We've gone from concrete to conspiracy theories all in a day's work. What's your biggest takeaway from all of this?
For me, it's that sometimes the most interesting innovations come from the most unexpected places. Who would have thought that a mansion in the Ozarks would make us rethink the future of housing?
And what about you listening at home? If you had the resources, what kind of dream home, or maybe dream bunker, would you build? A library that goes on for miles, a self-sustaining greenhouse, an escape tunnel that leads straight to a tropical island. Let us know on our social media channels because we want to hear from you. Until next time, happy diving.